Welcome back to the channel. This is Andrew, running with Dr. Andrew, and today I'm doing a 2-mile easy run. It's pretty hot, pretty close to 100 degrees today, and high humidity. And so today is another week where I talk about my top 10 favorite races I've ran. And so this is my 8th top one. And so let's go back and talk about it later. All right, guys, let's go running. Welcome back, everyone. I got done with that 2-mile run, and like I said, today is my 8th favorite race that I have ran, and the story behind it. So the story goes on to my first marathon, which was back in 2018, I believe, and or maybe 2019, 2019, I believe. Anyway. And this is called the Hogeye Marathon. So I actually have a t-shirt here. And so it's a marathon held in Springdale, Arkansas. Starts down there and it runs through Fayetteville, Arkansas, and through a couple other little towns and through a cool baseball field. And so the first time I ran it, it's usually in April, and so it was pretty warm. Started off about 60-ish or so and got into the 70s. And I started off really fast. Faster than what I was anticipating going, so I, making pretty good time, around 15 miles or so, and then 16 miles, things did not work out so well. I was cramping up, pretty severe cramps where my legs were cramping up and I couldn't even take a running step without it cramping up in my calves or my muscle called the anterior tibialis in the front part of my muscle there. Very, very painful. So I had to jog for at least a good 10 miles or so. So definitely a very long race. So I believe I did that one in like 5 hours and something minutes. Actually, I have the time on the back of my medal here. 4 hours and 54 minutes and 43 seconds. And that was on April 6th, 2019. And so, definitely very challenging time. Definitely at that point, you're thinking, am I going to be able to finish? But then you wanted to push through and finish this, and so I would do a lot of jogging, a lot of mental things going on. My wife had just completed her chemotherapy the first time she had cancer, so definitely I was driving myself because of that. I wanted to push myself for her. And so I had definitely some emotional time during it. Around mile 23 or so, I was very emotional. I was like, well, I've got a 5K left, I can do this. And then, whenever I got to mile 25, I remember calling my wife, Brandy, hey, I'm almost there. I'm going to do this. We're going to finish this race. And so funny part was, this is the first time I ran this. And right after mile 25, pretty close to mile 26, there's one of those, when you're running, they've got this booting, all these different people that volunteered to help give out, running aid, to some sort of electrolytes or Gatorade or water or gels. For it was Oklahoma State University who was volunteering at this spot. And they said, hey, would you like some Jell-O? So me, being naive, first time running a marathon, didn't realize that they did this. And not thinking took the Jell-O, and it was a Jell-O shot, which is pretty funny there. And I don't drink either, so that's every time I go back. I've done that race 2 other times, so every time I go back by the Oklahoma State booth there, I always think, and they always offer me. I say, no, thank you. I go on there. So it's definitely very surprising taste. It was not a sugary treat like I thought it was, and so that's kind of funny story that goes along with this. But definitely a beautiful race. I really enjoyed it. This is the medal that you get with it. So there's one of them anyway. And so I got a little spinner there, and this is the Hogeye Marathon in Springdale, Arkansas. So then I don't know if you can kind of see, this is the back of the medal there, and that had it engraved, my name, time, it was 4:54:43, April 6, 2019. So this is one I'll always remember. And you also get a cool little, if you run this race and this is the first time you ever run a marathon, you get this cool little lanyard that says Hogeye First Marathon. So this is my first marathon in 2019. Definitely learned a lot from that marathon, what to do, and how to approach it. So the next year was COVID, so they canceled it. It was a virtual race, and so 2 years later I ran it. I did it under 4 hours, so definitely improving my time quite a bit there too, and I was able to run the whole thing without stopping. And during those races, I don't think I probably trained enough for that. That's probably what happened. My time was I was taking off too fast, and things like that. So definitely it was very eye-opening and learning experience, especially when you're running a marathon. A lot more challenging than what you think it is the first time you run one. Alright guys, that completes this video on the my 8th best moments of marathon running or racing, and it was the Hogeye Marathon there too. So hope everyone out there keeps safe, keep running, and I'll see you next time.